the word was they just sided with the NFL. Is she here? Yes? Okay, let's go. All right, here we go. All right, let's bring Amy up now. And Amy, let me ask you this. Thanks for joining me. I got the idea that this was it, that it was after this, it was Supreme Court or nothing. Now I'm hearing that they could actually hear this case at this level on the merits. Explain.
Yeah, and the Court of Appeals issued a very bizarre ruling. Basically, they said he's suspended, but, Mike, they're rushing the appeal on an expedited basis, they call it. So he's suspended until there's a decision, but they're hearing it right away. Right away in the court and legal world could mean in a week. It could mean in 3 weeks. We don't know. And they didn't give any clarity on that. So they feel like the case should be heard, but at the same time, they either decided that they didn't think he would be harmed by waiting for the case to be heard, or they decided that they didn't think he had a chance of winning. So it's hard to reconcile the two.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't make why do they keep kicking the can down instead of making a decision? Why does the courts this time keep kicking the can down the lane here rather than make a decision?
I think it's ridiculous because during the hearing today, all three of the judges pointed out to the NFL that they didn't feel that there was urgency to suspend him. They were questioning, why would you let him play in that first game of the season versus the Giants? That was the NFL's decision. And they said that it undermined their argument that they needed to be suspended.
It did. It absolutely did. And they did it because they wanted ratings. That's the reason they did it. And they did it. And the court's right. They opened Pandora's box. So that's a great answer by the courts because the NFL did that because they wanted to get ratings that night. And
then another judge, Mike, says, well, he's already played 8 games and the playoffs are coming up. Wouldn't he be harmed more being suspended now? But then all three of them go ahead and suspend him again.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, why? It sounds like they're fickle. It sounds like they don't know where they want to go with this. I don't understand the courts here in that how can they say that there's not a timeliness issue here? This guy's facing the imperative weeks of play right now. This is completely imperative and it's not fair to the team to be fair here. It's not fair to the team to not know day to day whether they're going to have their player or not.
Yeah, and not to mention he's been practicing with them all week as if he's the starter.
Yeah, I don't get. So tell me this from your standpoint. Talking with Amy Dash, who does the legal stuff for the Fan. When are we? So this week he's out, but it doesn't mean. Does it mean that he's definitely out this week? And does it mean when's the next time we're going to get another piece of information on this case?
Well, that was also confusing, too, because, like I said, the judges didn't seem like they were in a rush to make a decision. They didn't understand why the NFL was in a rush to suspend. Yet, they go back into their chambers, and there's a decision within an hour, but there's no clarity on how long it's going to take to get his case on the calendar. They said expedited, but like I said, in the legal world, expedited is not really expedited. Okay, it's quicker than months. But we don't know if it's going to be a week or if it's going to be a couple weeks. Knowing his lawyers, they've been complete animals the entire time in a good way to advocate for him. And they've been pushing on both sides. Everything's an emergency. So I think they'll try to rush this as well and try to convince the court to schedule the arguments earlier. But it doesn't make sense. If he's suspended Sunday and then they rule in his favor, how is that fair if he misses a game?
Plus, the next game, he's going to play on Thanksgiving Day. The Cowboys always do. They're not going to work that week. He's no way they're going to work that week, so there's no chance of them making a decision on Thanksgiving week.
Right, and they're off tomorrow because
right.
Veterans Day.
So
they're off every Friday.
So he's going to miss the next couple of games probably for sure.
I mean, we can't say for sure because this case has been so unpredictable. I thought for sure he would be playing this season because I thought the case needs to be heard. You have a circumstance where the NFL is doing an investigation on a criminal matter, and Roger Goodell is calling somebody guilty of a criminal, of a crime, basically. And so I thought for sure the courts are going to be interested in hearing this because this is a very unique case where they're using an arbitration, which is usually for a civil matter, Mike, not criminal matters. They're using an arbitration to conduct what almost is like a criminal investigation because it's domestic abuse. So I thought they would want to hear it with all the credibility issues, the accuser not testifying, and they do want to hear it. But but yet they don't think that they need to keep him on the field, even though he's been on the field for 8 weeks. It has never made sense to me the entire time. Each court rules different. You've had now 8 judges rule totally different in 2 different states.
So right now, where we are, just for the folks, tell them where we are, and where we are for this Sunday is he's out.
He's out until there's a decision on the appeal.
Which can't be now until the earliest would be next week?
We don't know. It's totally open-ended. He is now suspended.
Well, they're not going to work tomorrow, so that means the weekend. That means that he's definitely out this week.
He's definitely out this weekend.
Right. And then next week, we don't know.
We don't know.
Okay. And do you, so I can't ask you if you think they're going to make a timely decision. You don't know that.
They said expedited, which means they think it needs to be rushed.
Right.
Yet they're suspending him. It's completely mind-boggling.
This is there's been talk that because of all this uncertainty that maybe they're going to come to some conclusion between the league and the Players Association and his lawyers to take this back away from them and make it and get it decided themselves, which they can obviously do. I wonder if that leads them to do this. We'll have to wait and see. But all we know right now is he's out this week, but it doesn't mean that he's out for the whole suspension.
That's right. For the whole season, yeah, that's right.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Okay, Amy there. So here's the deal. Normally, we thought this was the last court of resort, but they haven't made a decision yet. All they did was say he's out this week. So he's not playing Sunday. We don't know what that means. And maybe they want him. Maybe they want the NFL and Elliot to come to their own decision. Sounds like because of the uncertainty of the court here and the back and forth, maybe that's where the Player Association and the league will do is say, how about we just decide this ourselves now? And we'll take the suspension and do this with it. But right now, here's what you know. Sunday in Atlanta, no Ezekiel Elliott. He's not playing. That's all we know. We don't know that he's out for the whole suspension. That we don't know yet. They could decide something Monday or Tuesday. They could maybe not decide something the next 2 weeks. But as of right now, he needs to get a victory or a decision back in his favor, or you're not going to see him. This week, he is out. Back after this.